Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the advertisement Sue, produced by Starbucks, which is a coffee company. Um, and I'm going to suggest that this advertisement brand Starbucks coffee as being highly personalised. So there's a personal connection between um, the producer, the product, and the customer. And also that Starbucks coffee, because it's personal, because the people who are producing it care about you as an individual, they take great care with what they do and use all the expertise. The focus is really on the customer. In our modern day and age, things are like produced by, in factories, and we have this idea of robots or machines just stamping out things and producing them, and it all seems very cold and impersonal. So I believe what Starbucks are trying to do suggests that in their situation with selling coffee, that they have a very, almost like a friendship with the customer, or they value the customer as individuals. In the ad starts with a barista, that's what they call the people who make coffee in Starbucks, writes Sue on the coffee cup. And this is an allusion to what actually happens in Starbucks. If you've been to Starbucks, you know that often, not always, they will write someone's name. Another little trick they use is to write thank you or a smiley face or something like that to make it seem like they are making some sort of connection with you. And so this happens in the ad. And then after this, the name Sue is seen in connection to the coffee all the way back through to its original sort of being grown in the ground. And when I thought about this, I thought either this is a flashback, but it kind of defies the laws of logic and reality, because how did they, it kind of plays around with time, chronology. If the barista was writing Sue on the coffee, how did they know it was going to be Sue's coffee all the way back to the beginning? So I almost wondered if this sort of atmosphere of unreality was kind of created to suggest just how much Starbucks care about you. That they care about you so much that they can actually bend the laws of time and space and physics and causality to make sure that you get a personalised cup. Of course, they don't seriously expect us to believe that. It's a form of hyperbole, saying we care about you so much that we can actually bend the laws of time and space. And many times throughout the process that the coffee is being made, the name Sue is shown in close-up or medium close-up, so attention is drawn to it. It's often written in really big letters. It's often, it stands out by being black or white and really thick font on a plain background, so it really stands out and draws attention to the fact that the customer is important all the way through the process. Another way that the advertisement suggests that Starbucks have a deeply sort of personalised view of their product and the customer is that individuals are being shown throughout the process contributing to the coffee. So it's different individuals rather than a factory or robots in a factory stamping things out. Rather you see different human beings, and they're represented as being very human. For example, right at the beginning, it's an individual man is planting an individual coffee plant, and he's putting in an individual flag for Sue. He's doing it kind of carefully too, which is another theme in this ad, that because they care about the individual, they take care of the product. So he kind of bends down fairly carefully and puts the coffee plant in, and again Sue's name appears beside that. And there are many different people that contribute to this process. So there are people of different ethnicities and different ages and different genders and maybe different classes. So again, the idea of individuality is shown because different kinds of people are working with the coffee in different kinds of ways to show that it's a process driven by the idea of the individual. Whether it's a woman grinding the coffee, forklift driver or professional tasters. It's people that are being emphasised. And each person is doing their job with a sense of confidence and purpose. They're not doing it in a rush, they're taking care, but they know what they're doing. Right from the person planting it to the forklift driver, it's clear that he knows what he's doing. And through Synecdoche, these guys represent all Starbucks workers who know what they're doing, and they're using their expertise and their skill to create a product that suits the individual. As I've said here, this emphasises that Sue's coffee is being carefully crafted. Specifically, Sue's coffee is being handcrafted. What actually happens throughout the process is often the individuals are shown using their hands to represent themselves, which is another form of synecdoche, rather than their faces. Now, this is not to make them impersonal, but rather to create a sense of care, because when things are done with your hand, it's different from a machine stamping things out. And so there are lots of medium close-ups of hands, or even close-ups of hands, doing the work, again, doing that work confidently, with knowledge and expertise and care, in order that the individual customer will get something that's very personalised and very well created, crafted with care and attention to detail by the individuals making it. The song playing over the ad is called Generator, First Floor, by a band called the Freelance Whales. It wasn't a song that was created just for this ad, but it kind of has a warm feeling to it. The voice sounds warm, it's in a major key, so there's a sense of warmth and perhaps purpose about it. It's a positive, caring sounding song, which associates Starbucks with being positive and caring. And some of the lyrics too suggest people are making an effort. For example, the opening line is, "We get up early just to start cranking the generator." So if you're getting up early to do something, you care about it. And we can therefore associate Starbucks with being careful with what they're doing. It emphasises the hard work and sacrifice Starbucks workers habitually every day make to serve their customers. Another line in the song is, "We're finding every day several ways that we can be friends." And by using words like we, it creates a sense of togetherness, and friends has connotations of like intimacy and closeness. Again, it's suggesting that there's a personal relationship between the producers of the Starbucks coffee and the customers who buy it. The line says, every day we're finding new ways, to suggest that they don't just have a relationship, but the relationship is going on, and finding new ways to be friends suggests that the relationship between the customer and the producer are all growing deeper. Near the end of the process, or at the end of the process, near the end of the advertisement, Sue picks up her coffee, and there's an over-the-shoulder shot. So you briefly see over the shoulder of the person serving her to her, and you see Sue's response to him as a person. She's smiling, she has a warm look on her face. In that split second, there's a sense of relationship between the person giving her the coffee and Sue. The over-the-shoulder shot is often used to create a sense of connection in a shot, and that's exactly what's happening here. Again, showing there's a connection between people producing coffee and the customer. At the end of the ad, there are close-ups of Sue, or medium close-ups of Sue, looking peaceful. The camera tilts from her face, and the camera tilts from a medium close-up of her face to a close-up of her coffee with the name Sue. And all these close-ups of Sue and the close-up of her name really highlight that she is important. It says, there's a minor sentence that is written in the sky above Sue. It says, "Handcrafted for Sue," and then Sue fades out and becomes you. So the minor sentence, "handcrafted for Sue," really shows that Sue was important throughout the process. But by choosing a word that rhymes with you, it becomes really easy for them to suggest that Sue represents us, the customer. And by Starbucks is branding itself as having a personal connection with us. They have handcrafted. That's a metaphor for making something really carefully by hand for us individually. So even the choice of the name Sue and the way it rhymes with you really drives this idea forward that Starbucks care about us as individuals. Sue represents us, so it's a form of metonymy or synecdoche that she represents all people, all customers of Starbucks. So in a way, I think this ad is fairly successful at what it's trying to do. I think it combines and synthesizes a whole lot of different aspects of visual language and verbal language to really drive home the idea that Starbucks is carefully crafted with the individual customer in mind. In our modern times, when so many things are made like on a production line, we might really lose a sense of community and personal connection between the customer and the provider or the service that we're getting. So in this way, I think Starbucks has cleverly branded its coffee as being crafted carefully with expertise and care because they care about the individual. Thank you very much.